Dear viewer, do you money? Do you like money? Does your money like money? Does your money want to make sweet lovins with other money and have beautiful money babies? Do you have investment accounts you don't understand or pay attention to because your meaningless desk job is all the excitement you need? Or are you a trader, stacking your net worth on your ottoman, smelling that ATM smell, giving it that good old money linguist? Look no further. Day traders and sensible stockholders rejoice. There is a ridiculously unhelpful and irreverent subreddit that will make you feel less bad about your occupational hazards.
Wallstreetbets.
In the light of a ricochet economy, stocky quants and political quaints spy an impending recession, inverted yield curves bound in structural inadequacies sway in the wind. Mango Man bad is the tagline, the rich are as rich as ever, and the millennials are to blame for fucking everything. It seems late-stage capitalism is hilariously here, and one wonders if the threat of the end times has been traded out for more temporary and capitalistic eschatology. Wallstreetbets is here to help you cope. In a small and exceptionally autistic corner of the internet, therein lies a battalion of nihilistic meme lords who discuss their positions and strategies, speculate and argue over the market's movement, publish sophisticated theses, YOLO Tesla 420 calls expiry fucking right now, and provide sage advice to the humble stock trader who just so happens to stumble upon this fine community. Before we dive right into the insanity, let's meditate over the oldest investing proverb in human history to provide just a little bit of perspective.
A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Or it is preferable to have a small and certain advantage than a meager potential of a greater one. Here's Buff himself explaining.
And he forgot to say what interest rates were.
But that's fucking stupid. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but fuck that bush. I want 300 birds stat. Who doesn't, right? Who in their right mind would wait around for a virgin-ass pigeon where you can throw it into an ancestral orgy and pop out dozens of chat-ass cockatiels? Who gives a fuck about a Roth IRA if the Swedish girl is right and we all get eaten by diasporic emaciated polar bears? Fucking millennials too, right? Always ruining shit with their scarce abundance mindsets and their delinquent car payments and their defaulted student loans and their lack of assets because it's impossible to step on the bottom rung of the housing market and blah. Investments are boring and playing the long game is weak. I want my fucking money now,
Because
right?
all we care about is getting fucking rich.
Welcome to Wallstreetbets, the promised land where tendy rivers flow endlessly and the hookers and cocaine sprout from vines and are always in season. Yachts sail along the horizon, your mansion has 2 health bars, your wife has a girlfriend with a twin sister and the 3 of them worship you. Your beautiful husband is your rock because he is the rock and he's encouraging of your polyamorous ways. Your broker folds up nicely and slides comfortably in your ass, willing to take all the damage you throw at him. Debt means nothing and once in a lifetime 5,000% returns gift the brightest among the spets, only to be lost entirely on an earnings call. Did I just introduce Wallstreetbets to you 3 times? You're fucking right, I did. All the way back. Before currency, there was the barter system. It was difficult to differentiate value between offers, so currency came to be and represented the standard value of goods and services. Naturally, the enterprise complexifies and brokers are born to manage the debt accumulated. Countries and enclaves began to trade these debts and write up bonds and yada yada the stock market. The stock market is big and makes people wealthy. It feeds economies and makes more and more people wealthy. It throws tantrums and falls into depressions. Housing market collapses in 2008 and 2012. We were saved from utter annihilation by the spawning of this guy. These dunces, and we owe it all to Jartech, big gay mod, Skrelly's #1 fan. He started this sub and his origin story is shrouded in secrecy. I just suck at researching, honestly. All we know is that he claims to live in Mexico and is a millionaire. Probably. We can extrapolate further to say that he is most likely a brony, lives in California or Mexico, is a liar, and probably doesn't take himself too seriously. But we don't need to extrapolate because he doesn't mind you seeing this, and he has a Twitter so you can just go fucking ask him. Jartech traded options and called people gay. He also dueled with another user, American Pegasus, who dipped into penny stocks and went wild. This feud garnered attention and lost the 2 money and drew in a crowd to the sub and its antics. Then there was a meetup in Mexico where a few users fine-dined and probably spit roasted some ladyboys of the dusk. One of these guys I think is Jartech, but who gives a shit? If you de-blur their faces, they all look the same. And you know, the subreddit made it in the news a couple times. Lost porn and insane gains were featured on Reddit's front page. The poor man's viral. And now fast forward some years and there's 666,000 degenerates enlisted in the Lenny army. I glossed over a few notable things, but who cares? You get the point. The sub club's origin was a modest one, but its legacy is fantastic and subject to the Trade Commission investigation. Irony Man, or 1R0NY Man. The man, the myth, the irony. Upon the Hall of Fame walls, box spread. Without delving into specifics, box spreads, you could play both sides, and I realized he was in deep dog shit. Basically, this handicapped savant overlooked one of the main functions of options called assignment risk, which means that if you're in the money, you have a chance of stock being aped by the banhammer of Robinhood. And hours later, Robinhood prohibits box spreads entirely due to this egregious error, thereby changing how a giant financial, and he documented the entire journey to his fellow cohorts for us to laugh at. Free money, can't go tits up. Sir, this is a welfare office. Next. This kid comes from a long line of farming sphincters. He can smell the shit before it plops, and the shit was about to splash in a bowl least expected. This fine whippersnapper, who probably can't buy alcohol or rent a car, took what was left of his trust fund after his abusive father snorted it, and he purchased 0DTE puts. Random. It must have been. Because who would do such a thing? He almost lost it all. But luckily, we elected a full-blown retard, and he came and saved the day with a retarded-ass tweet. I mean, his weird-looking son-in-law probably had puts across the whole market. For this fine recipient to the anal farm's dwindling fortune, this motherfucker gained over $500,000 overnight. Smell roses? Cash in? Nah, fuck that. Tendies, motherfucker. He bet everything on 0DTE calls. Everything. And on the opposite side, he just played. This country-ass butt-shucker thought he was Houdini and lost $480,000 because the market doesn't rally and for a crisis in the colon farming industry. Crazy, right? Bananas don't have shit on this. So his original puts position, that was the ace in the hole. If it was just a bit longer, he would have been game ready during the 100-point crash of S&P 500 during the same time he lost nearly everything. He could have cashed out for millions of tendies. Millions of tendy, sir, this is a Wendy's. Millions of dollars. He's since disappeared. Moving on. Aspiring Argentinian filmmakers usually don't predict their country's market to crash, but this guy certainly did. Before he discovered that his country was on track to take a massive shit without Metamucil, he posted this. And then he published a DD post, which is now removed. In the post, he detailed political movements, the country's decreasing parity between the peso and the dollar, and the country's risk assessments to skyrocket. Naturally, he reasoned that his approach would be to short CDSs, or to short the current holdings of the government bonds. People realized this was too autistic and didn't believe him. He turned out to be correct in his assumptions, leaving everyone's jaw ajar. The Argentinian ETF dropped 24%, and the country's currency died and took a rigor mortis shit. The best part, he told everyone on a Sunday, so no Wall Street bettors could capitalize on this discovery. The DD post was subsequently removed due to it becoming a proxy for a GoFundMe for his now starving family in Argentina. Hilarious. He posted his next play, which turned out to be a dead end. Onward. Went shopping. This fine, neurotypical specimen held a position for 3 years and had 1,000% return, arguably one of the best gains on Wallstreetbets from shares alone. He played the long game and cashed out bigly. Now, while this gain is impressive,
it challenges the decadent ethos of Wallstreetbets by attributing safe and sound investing while imperviously holding your position when,
listen, nobody wants to see tremendous gains in life-changing money. Next, please. This user unfortunately passed away. His son-in-law posted so. But users peeled through the post history to discover that his sister, Pliable Moose's sister, stole $250,000 from their grandmother suffering from dementia, signing over her money and bought a house with the spoils. Mr. Moose filed a police report but did not give an update. And yes, the son-in-law mentioned that an autopsy would be performed considering the circumstances. Yeah, he probably got murdered by his sister. Without evidence, we will never know. She made the ultimate margin call. Now, I was going to do a few more users, but I can't for the life of me find a particular one. I might do another video and cover more Wall Street bettors considering the developments of Mr. Joey RB with his $700 to $100,000 gain. I'm feeling lazy. Wall Street bettors put their money where their mouth is and show the end results. And not only is that ballsy, but it's admirable. Like 4chan found a Bloomberg Terminal. Indeed. Why would you possibly drop 24K on Bloom Term just to have access to a bunch of suited lockjaws pointing at technical graphs you will neither understand nor garner any useful information out of, when you can simply type in Reddit, navigate to this funny little guy, and scroll endlessly through until you feel the prick of a vaccine and an overwhelming urge to trade options at earning calls. I'm sure you're wondering a lot of things, like why would someone throw their financial futures away in a single trade? Or why would anyone trade so irresponsibly for internet points? The fact of the matter is, looking at the vernacular suggests rampant homoeroticism cloaked in playground insults and jockish bullying. Mods are big gay. Trump is daddy. Sometimes. If OP is risk averse and cashes out on a decent game, he's a pussy because he didn't bet at all. The vernacular is also witty and at the same time stupid. Due diligence, DD. Posts are mostly shit posts and copy pasta. Sometimes they're great though. OTM, ITM, out the money, yada yada. And then FDs, fixed deposits, are known as faggy delights. There is an air of camaraderie not found in other subreddits. And Wallstreetbets gets a lot of shit, called out for being toxic or juvenile or schadenfreuds, I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Wet dream. That's probably all true, but I think people miss the point. It's possible through the irony and recklessness. This community is a look into the future of trading and investment strategies of the next generation of traders and money men. And it's also a reflection or a parallel of the financial sector's imprudent habits and lack of oversight in the big leagues on literal Wall Street. But not so, because actual investment theses are published frequently. Some heavily and sensibly researched, and others just rampant diarrhea posts that earn laughs. That's it for the video. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe.
YOLO Tesla 420 calls expiry fucking right now.